Well, I'm pleased to say that our next guest, this is your first time here, isn't it, Scott?
Second.
Second year? Okay.
All
So
right.
you were here when I wasn't.
First time in the close-up.
Oh, first time in the close-up. So we want to make sure that he feels welcome. Scott SteelFyre is the magic man that does the ancient art of magic, but he's a modern magician. Let's give him a hand. Woo!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Well, tonight what I brought, now I'm kind of a collector. I like to collect all kinds of strange and unusual devices like to show to people, usually relating to magic. Tonight, I'd like to talk about somebody that maybe some of you know. The magicians will recognize the name Eric Weiss. How many people know who that is? Well, we've got a few. Most people know him as Harry Houdini. And the thing about Harry Houdini, and don't worry, I'm not going to bring out a straitjacket or reel in a water torture cell here or anything. The thing about Harry Houdini that I really admire a lot was the fact that he was a master showman. Not really all that great of a magician, and Jeff is really a better master of King of Cards than Houdini ever was. But around the turn of the century, I believe it was somewhere around Coney Island, he discovered something called metamorphosis, an illusion where he and his wife would change places inside of a locked trunk. Now this took off. It was escaping from something impossible that eventually landed his name in the dictionary. Now, if you think about that for a second, the dictionary only has descriptions of words and not usually people's names. But to do a Houdini is to escape from almost the impossible. So, let's see. Could you help me out, please? Yes.
Woo!
I promise I'm not going to make fun of you or anything else. You're going to be able to see something very magical right up here, all right? I'd like you to stand right over here to my right. And are you with her, or?
I'm with him.
Okay. It is Vegas, like you said. Would you help me out? Come on. And your name is? Michelle. And Andy. Andy. Let's give a good big round of applause. Now, the thing I'd like to tell you about Harry Houdini is that he did a particular jail escape, which I really admire, and it's one of my favorite stories to tell about him. It involved a 3-story jail cell, and when he got into town, he was going to do a show in the theater, which was a few blocks away. And he thought, to get publicity, he'd go into the constable and the warden of this 3-level jail cell, which they had claimed had never ever been escaped from. And, of course, he said, I'll get out. Not only will I get out of your jail cell, but I'll make it back to the theater to make my performance that evening. And the constable and the mayor were invited to sit front row in that theater to be able to stand up and laugh at him when he didn't arrive. Well, they didn't know who they were up against. And I have a little coin here that represents Harry Houdini. I'm going to let you hang on to that for right now, okay? You can put it on the table if you want. What we're going to do is set up exactly what happened on that day. I found some really neat Houdini playing cards. You see on the back there, there's a handcuffs and Houdini's face. Kind of a unique deck, like they're making a lot of them today. Matter of fact, Houdini's picture is actually on the Joker's in one of his classic jumping in the river with the huge chain balls attached to take him down to the bottom. Now, being a great showman, he set things up to the extreme. Every condition was absolutely perfect, to where when you got done watching what he had done, there was no way to explain exactly what happened. Today, like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to use about 20 cards. 10 of the cards are going to be the theater with you. I'd like you to hold your hand out just like that. Maybe you might want to use 2 just so we don't lose any. Oh, and it was a classy theater, so we'll put a little red carpet down there. There we go. All right. And, first, so that you can all see this here. I'm going to spread these cards out, and if you look at these cards here, you can see that none of the cards are all any duplication at all. All the cards are different. We don't have any repeats here. Oh, could you hold up your hands too? Just put them together like that. I'm going to, for right now, I want you to hold on to 10 of the cards, okay? Just hold on to those. The other 10 here, we're going to put over at the theater, all right? You're going to keep track of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to have you seal them inside, all right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 cards. Now we'll just put that on one hand. Put your other hand over the top, kind of like a cage in there. Leave a little bit of room, but all right. Now, the theater is with the gentleman waiting over there, and we have these 10 cards over here. And this is where you're going to help me out. Let me see what I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, they're all showing. I want you to just look at one of those cards. And the ace of hearts on the front is very obvious. It looks like I want you to pick that. Let's ignore that one. That's too obvious. Pick one of the cards somewhere in the middle. You got one? Yeah, not pull it out. Just think it.
Okay.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Just think it. You got one in your head?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
Okay, that's very important. You don't forget that, because in a few minutes everybody's going to laugh at you if you do. Okay? So you do have it locked away. Okay. Open your hands back up again. I'm going to set those right back down there. Now, you know that you've trapped those. You have 10 cards. You have 10 cards. You have 1 card in mind. What happened that day was Houdini was locked, stripped of all his clothes, searched between his toes and other places, which I won't mention. They locked his clothes just to be fun up on the 3rd level. Not only did he escape from that cell in that jail, but he went up and got his clothes off the 3rd level, and he switched every other prisoner in the prison. So no original prisoner was in the cell that they were supposed to be. Made it over the wall and back to the theater. Now, you watched that just now, but it really did happen. What I want you to do is just hold out your hands again, and as I count through these cards, watch for the Houdini card. Okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Did you see the Houdini card? No Houdini card. Really? Go ahead, open up. Because over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. And for the first time, she's laughing. For the first time, name what the Houdini card was.
5 of diamonds.
The 5 of diamonds. And if you look right there, he's standing front and center to take his bow. Let's give them both a round of applause. Thank you very much. All right. Now, I've explained about Houdini and one of the reasons why I like him. There was another gentleman that had a great interest in Harry Houdini, and that was Arthur Conan Doyle. Arthur Conan Doyle was the author of Sherlock Holmes. Now, Conan Doyle actually believed that Houdini, the way he did the things he did, is he could dematerialize into a mist and seep through the cracks in a milk can or substitution trunk or whatever, and then rematerialize back outside. I was wondering what exactly that would look like under test conditions. So I created something myself that I hope you like, and it's basically to try to get that same thing. And could you help me out, please? Step right over here to the right side, or to the left side. I have a couple of coins here. And I've been using these coins for quite a few years. I started doing magic in 1967, so I like using the 67 coins. Okay, that's a 1967 silver $50. Take a close look at it, bend it, bite it if you want. It is a real $50, correct? Now, 1967 was the last year that they put silver into coins. It's copper on the inside, silver on the outside. But the silver coins had a certain, listen carefully, hear that ting? There's a tonal quality to the silver that isn't around in the nickel coins of today. And the other coin I have is kind of an unusual one. That's a 1967 English penny. Now I guess they shrunk the penny down since that was made. That's again a coin that they put out of circulation. I guess they didn't like the dollar side, so they didn't make the penny a little bit smaller. All right. Now, we just met tonight, but we've never met before, right? We've never made no pre-arrangement with this at all, right? Okay. In a second, I'd like you to hold out your hand. And I'm going to place both of those coins on your hand. Okay? I'm rolling up my sleeves now because, as I said, this is test conditions, which means that I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen here before it happens. The two coins, the English penny and the silver $50, whoops, go on your hand. Now, you see them there?
Yes.
You cover the two coins, but leave lots of room inside, like you're holding a large ball. But leave all the nooks and crannies around your fingers closed, so that if you squeeze, you make a little fart sound. But don't do that. Oh, am I disappointing you? All right, what we're going to do is I'm going to remove one of those two coins from your hands. Dematerialize it and rematerialize it somewhere else. Just like Oscar Conan Doyle believed. But before I do that, I'm going to have you double check to make sure everything's there. Don't open your hands. Don't open your hands until I tell you to open your hands. Okay? This is how it's going to work. I want you to take the coins, watch me first time, and you'll do it on the second time. You're going to bring them up, you're going to turn them over right by your ear, listen for them to clink, and bring them right back down. Okay? Ready? Go ahead. Hear them clink? Come back down. Now, copper, silver, silver, copper. You heard the coins, you saw the coins. I'm staying purposely away from her so that you can all keep track of what's going on here. Now, name one of the two coins, copper or silver?
Copper.
Copper. All right. I'm going to remove the copper coin from your hands. It's the only time I'm going to come close to her hand, so watch closely because this is when it happens. I want you to shake your hands. What do you feel inside your hand? Just one coin? It's funny because so. Open your hands.